Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So a guy walked up to Jerry Seinfeld to take a selfie, and watch what happens.
Jerry, can I get a selfie?
Sure.
Free Palestine!
I don't care about Palestine.
That's sad.
So I don't... That's your mistake right there. You went up to Jerry Seinfeld and started talking about something, and everybody knows Jerry only talks about nothing. Did you not see the show? And you also made the mistake of not being in your car with him drinking coffee, so he's not going to open up to you. And yes, now Michael Richards is more popular than Jerry Seinfeld. Life is strange, isn't it? I mean, I don't understand why anyone think that Seinfeld cares about Palestine.
Yeah, why?
His whole show was about nothing. You feel like you're exposing him for not being socially conscious enough?
You mean Pop-Tarts the movie?
That would have been a good episode. Kramer gets really passionate about Palestine.
I mean, no coming back from that.
I mean, I get that's callous of Jerry Seinfeld, but did you watch the show? There's a reason why they all ended up in prison at the end.
Yeah, they were sociopaths. This is what they say.
And seeing how none of your leaders in either of the political parties care about Palestine, what are the odds Seinfeld's going to be the lone voice of dissent? Seriously.
Again, a nation turns to Seinfeld.
I don't care about Palestine, Jerry Seinfeld. What he means is he doesn't care about occupation of children, women, or men being killed by Palestine.
What site is this? No Shit Magazine?
No kidding. I don't. As big a fan as I am and have always been, he needs to realize that the entire world doesn't just watch cable news to find out what's going on now. Without Larry David writing, look what happens. You need to curb your lack of enthusiasm. So, Jerry Seinfeld, I don't care about Palestine. Comment sparked social media outrage. Oh, social media outrage. Oh, no. He's not going to get to play Wonder Woman now. A star of a sitcom from 25 years ago? When did that show end? The late 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where we'll make headway. We're gonna get the star of a sitcom about nothing from 25 years ago.
He'll turn this thing around.
Yeah, he's. So Chuck Modi's outraged. He says this man pulling up on Jerry Seinfeld with a free Palestine selfie is a legend. Is a legend move, he says. Others should follow suit until Jerry is never sure who is a real fan again. As for Jerry, with most American Zionists still denying a genocide and water is wet, I do appreciate his honesty. You kind of do. You kind of have to. A good point by Chuck Modi. He doesn't. He's not giving lip service. He's not saying we're trying every day to end this like AOC did. We're working tirelessly. You remember that?
Yeah. Remember the show? He dumped a girl because he dropped her toothbrush in the toilet and didn't want to tell her, and then it was too gross, so he dumped her. That's about his personality, you know?
So he's not denying that it happened. He just doesn't care that it's happening. And we thought the soup Nazi was tough. Seinfeld went. Oh, by the way, he went to occupied Palestine to visit the people and see their oppression. No, he went to visit an Israeli anti-terror fantasy camp. You want to see this? This isn't real violence. This is all training. That's where tourists get to live out their fantasies. Fighting
I think they're
terrorists.
putting that in a kind of dumb. It's like what you took one of those classes, like when you see Keanu Reeves shooting Uzis in his movie. It's like that. Like really, these are the same people that train the cops. So
it's like paintball, except the other unarmed players have no idea they're playing. went to a
country is
training.
a beautiful country.
He went to a training camp in the illegally occupied West Bank. That's where he
You
went.
don't know that. Are you going to tell him? He don't think that.
We're living with terror, and we're living in a combat region, and you have to know how to live in such a region.
Israeli training camp said Seinfeld and his family experienced shooting training with displays of combat, Krav Maga. The training camp is on Palestinian land that is illegally occupied by Israel. That's according to international law. Let's see. Jerry Seinfeld and his family play fascists at an Israeli military fantasy camp. Nothing fun or funny about apartheid, occupation, settlement, expansion, and executing occupied Palestinians. Cool to see Jerry Seinfeld cosplaying as a modern-day colonist at a camp occupied in Israel. Maybe he'd like to fund a Jim Crow-themed recreational camp in the U.S. That's a good joke. I can never unsee Jerry Seinfeld gleefully posing with a machine gun at an IDF fantasy camp. And there it is.
Well,
there it is.
It's not fantasy if they do kill people, number one. It's not a fantasy thing. Number two, all those complaints, not only Jerry, but I would say most people, up until they screwed up so bad with Gaza, this is most people I've ever seen think there was a problem. Most people don't think it's illegal or any of that.
No, they don't. You're right. Terror. They think it's there.
Like least of all, Jerry. Jerry's going to be the guy that puts that together.
I know.
He's not Norman Finkelstein. He's Jerry Seinfeld.
Right. That's exactly right. They don't think it's illegal. They think it's their land. They think those people are subhuman. Yeah, though. Hey, fun fact. Did you know that the individual Israelis don't have a right to defend themselves?
Yeah, I did know that.
That's because Israel doesn't have a Second Amendment. And why doesn't Israel have a Second Amendment? Because they don't even have a constitution.
Yeah.
What exactly was Jerry Seinfeld training for? In case somebody said free Palestine when they were taking a selfie with him?
I think that's what that was. He went to a camp to learn to deal with that, and they teach you. I don't care. This is like the stuff they were doing. Looks like this stuff when we did those pranks on Sacha Baron Cohen's show, and he was the Israeli Mossad guy, and we get them to do stupid things. That's what it looked like.
Okay.
By the way, Krav Maga. One thing, whatever side you're on, we learned Krav Maga is bullshit from October 7th at the very least.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.